on with SkarxFace, your boy SkarxFace, and welcome back to another episode. I want to thank you guys always for joining in on the episodes. Every week, you guys help support. Shout out to everyone who comes over from the TikTok and you name it. Thank you. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Without you guys, I would not want to be doing this. You know what I mean? Like, you guys motivate me to continue making these podcasts for you guys. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you guys want to keep supporting, just give us a like, a share, wherever, a 5-star rating, wherever you're at, wherever you are, you know. So that way, like, it helps the podcast grow. So just give us a thumbs up. And there's people who like to support past that. Like, for example, I'm wearing my Susia necklace here. I know you can't really see it here, but we have them. I'm gonna go get some packaging for them just because I had a friend send me some packaging and she was like, you should probably throw them in something like this. It would look a lot nicer. So they do just come in this right here. So if you guys want to get one of these or a pin, link is in the bio. Definitely go check it out. Thank you. Or one of these shirts. I know you guys like this one. Stepdaddy in training, you know the vibes. But anyways, you guys don't have to just give us a like and a 5-star review. That's all I ask for you guys. You know, shout out to you guys for always, doing that for me. So I wanted to get into today's episode. I wanted to do something a little different on here. I wanted to do like, what would you do in this type of scenario? You know, give you guys scenarios to think about. Put yourself in that scenario. You know, like, what do you think you would do? And again, always take this, here's a little caveat. Like, you're going to react to some things different. Like, you don't know how you're going to react unless it happens to you. For example, I always give this example. Like, if you've never, this dude that he said, like, if chupacabras came out, like, through the roof, jumped on the table and started peeing on everybody, how are you going to react? Well, you don't know because that's never happened. You're either gonna freeze, flight, fright. What was it? Freeze, flight, or faint. I think, or run. One of those two, like one of those. But it's the same with like these scenarios. You don't know how you're gonna. You can say, like, if a girl cheated on you, right? You'd be like, I never get back with her. But then there's guys who get back with them, because you don't know how you're gonna react if it happens. And same with these, like, you don't know how you're going to react unless these scenarios happen. That's why it's really hard for me to give my perspective on some situations, just because I've never been in that situation and I've never been like, yeah, I'm going to do this. But then if it were to happen, what if I react differently? So, but this is a good way to think about, like, what would you do if it happened? Or maybe you're in this scenario and maybe one of these things, like, you're going to be like, maybe I should do that. So, I didn't go through them too much because I want to give you guys like an honest, like, I had somebody else do this for me. I just wanted to give you guys an honest, like, reaction to it, if that makes sense. So let's get into it. The first one that we're going to get into is communication issues. And there's 2 in each one. So I thought this was like pretty cool, something a little different that we can do. So scenario 1 that we have is, if your partner frequently interrupts you when you try to express your feelings, what would you do? It could mean that I don't know. I feel like guys do it a lot. Like, they'll interrupt you. They'll just be like, no, I'm fine. Like, kind of like snap at you and just try to, like, silence you, if that makes sense. So if somebody were to do that to me, like when I'm trying to talk about, express how I'm feeling, and they keep interrupting and not really caring about what I'm saying, I would feel like they really don't care, if that makes sense. Like, if you can keep interrupting me, trying to take the conversation to somewhere different, or something like that, I feel like maybe you're not, you don't really care about how I feel. You can say it, right? You can say how you feel. Be like, oh yeah, I do care how you feel. But then when something comes and happens, you don't react that way. You react differently, like, why? Because in reality, you probably don't really care. So I would bring that up. Like, if someone's like interrupting you or not hearing you out when you're trying to express your feelings, I definitely think that is a huge red flag, because they probably would get upset if they're trying to express their feelings and you're really not paying attention. Be like, well, you never listen, like, some people have seen that. So what would you do in that scenario? I think I would just, I don't know if I would do anything if I didn't, like, I would definitely bring it up. I think I would bring it up. And then if that didn't change and it continued, I would just in my head think that this person, it really doesn't care. really doesn't care about how I actually feel. So scenario two that we have is you feel that your partner isn't really listening to you during conversations. What will you do? I mean, I think a lot of guys have been through this where you just answer your girl. I mean, girls may do it too. You're like, oh yeah, like, and then you ask them a question and they're like, what? um, you know what I mean? Like, so that's why you're like, would you say again? Oh, that last part, would you say? Or ask the question again. I really didn't hear the question because they weren't paying attention. Let's be honest. Um, I think that tends to happen a lot, just like going over people's day to days, like, oh, how was work and like stuff like that, kind of like the same things over and over. But if it's happening when you guys are like trying to talk about certain things and they're really not paying attention, like that's definitely that. Before, I don't think it would have been an issue, but now grown up Edgar, it definitely would be an issue. I'd be like, you're not really fucking listening to what I'm trying to tell you. Um, I have to repeat myself over and over. And even when I repeat myself, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not really listening, or trying to, or they just stay quiet. There's some people who just stay quiet. They're like, oh, I don't know what to say. No, they're expressing it to you because they're trying to, either one, trying to figure out what issue you guys have, or two, like trying to see if like you can help them get through this issue. What are your ideas? This is your partner. Help them along. Um, you know, and most people just cut off communication. Like communication, especially for guys, they don't really like to talk about their feelings. They don't really like to get deep into their feelings. They don't like to talk about certain things. They don't like to express like what is bothering them. It may not necessarily be you. It could be like something in the past, but they just don't express it. Something happened when they were younger. You never know. It's different things. So, all right. So the next one that we have here is trust and jealousy. Okay. So first scenario, your partner accuses you of flirting with a friend, but you feel that you did nothing wrong. What did you do? What would you do? Hmm. Well, it's because this happened to me one time. Like I remember my ex, like we were all like we had a house party. Was it my house party? Can't remember. We were at a house party, and there was another girl that was there, and I don't feel like I was flirting with her, but she got upset because she's like, "Why are you flirting with her?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" But maybe my approach, how I was talking to her, how like maybe I'm always goofing around, like trying to make people laugh and stuff like that. So maybe she felt like that was me flirting with her. Cause in my head, I'm like, I don't really think I was flirting with her. Like, I wasn't trying to be like, yo, I'm gonna try to flirt with her because I'm trying to get with her. No, she was a good looking girl. Don't get me wrong, but I wasn't trying to flirt with her, and I kind of got upset over that just because maybe it was her insecurities. Again, I don't really remember what like if I was looking at her a certain way, or maybe you know what I mean, like because I don't think my intentions were to be like, "What's up, girl? I'm trying to hook up with you." No, like we were just all friends, and this girl happened to be there because she was my ex's friend, and sh I don't want her to think that you know what I mean, like I wasn't trying to flirt with her. Like if you bring people around, like I try to include them also in the conversation, try to talk to them, try to goof around with them too, and stuff like that, so they get comfortable. Uh, so, but after that, I did get upset just because she did say that I was like, you know what I mean? Like at the time, I really didn't pay attention to it, but now that I think about it, like some things, maybe she was a little insecure in certain things. You know what I mean? Like, cause she would be like, "Why'd you look at her like that?" But at the same time, this is the same ex who we would look at couples together and or girls, and she'd be like, "Oh, dang, she's bad," and I'd be like, "Yeah, she's bad." And then she'd be like, "I really like how she does it," you know what I mean? Like and stuff like that. So maybe it could have been like my body language to the person or something like that was just a little different, but or who knows, maybe self-consciously I was flirting with her. Like I was like, damn, she looked good. I'm gonna try to flirt with her. You know what I mean? Um, so I did get upset when I got accused of that. You find out your partner has been secretly checking your phone. What would you do? Oh, that yeah. I think that's a deal breaker for me because there's no trust there. Like you don't trust me. And unless I gave you a reason to check my phone, okay, like I get it, and like I fucked up, But if you're just checking it just to check it, I don't want to live in I don't want to be in a relationship that where you're constantly trying to check my phone without me looking like who's messaging them, what doing like sometimes because I've seen like an ex's phone there just sitting there and they're not around and you're just like maybe take a quick peek, see what's going on in there. But again, like if you get to the point where you have to, because I'm like, nah, I don't need to. Like I don't need to. Uh, but if you get to the point where you're insecure, or where you have to check the person's phone, it's either one, your insecurities, you may be a little jealous, so you know you have to look in within yourself and try to figure that out, or you're you might have done something wrong. Let's be honest, you might have done something wrong. So now she's going through your phone, or he's going through your phone. But someone who's insecure and jealous, I don't really like to be with, just because a little bit of jealousy and insecure is cool, it's cute. You know what I mean? Like in everybody, but too much of it, nah, it's a no for me, dog. Um, But if I found out that she was checking my phone and I gave her no reason to check my phone, I think I would feel some type of way. And I did. This happened before. This girl, she wanted to. Well, she didn't. She wasn't checking it secretly. She asked me to check it, and it made me feel some type of way just because I was like, I gave you no reason to want to check my phone, you know. And so afterward, it didn't work out. But you know what I mean? Like I always tell people too, I trust you 100% until you give me a reason not to trust you. You know, because I'm like not gonna. Oh, you have to build your trust with me. No, we're trying to vibe. We're trying to see where this goes. I'm gonna trust you, and if you for some reason lose that trust, then that's it. We're not gonna do this. Like that's basically it. That's plain and simple. Okay, plain and simple. So I would probably not be with that person much longer because there might be insecurity issues, like, oh, you're cheating now, or you're doing this. Like it only gets worse, like their insecurities and their jealousy. So uh, definitely a big problem. I mean, what would you guys do on that one? All right, so the next one that we have is commitment and future plans. First scenario, you want to move in together, but your partner is hesitant. What would you do? Um, I've never been the one like, oh, we need to move in. Let's do this. No, you gotta take some time because things definitely do change when you move in with somebody. Like they definitely do change. Like I'm sure anyone that moved in with somebody can definitely agree to that. Like you start noticing like the little nuances, like little things that bug you. Like oh, they do this, like they do that. Like I'm just like, what the fuck, you know? Um, like I remember my ex, she constant. I mean, most girls do it, but uh, I would go through and like wipe down the kitchen, or not the kitchen, our bathroom that we had, and make it all look clean and like decluttered. Uh, and then she would get ready for work and completely destroy it and then just like leave. And I'm just like, what in the fuck? Because I would get home and be like, what the fuck happened here? Like, there's a mess everywhere, right? Uh, and she would be like, oh, I was in a hurry, so like I just left everything, and she would just leave it, you know. And after a while, it started getting annoying. You know what I mean? So, you start learning things like that. So, uh, I but if we were talking for a while and we've been together for a while and I told her, I was like, hey, like we should just like move in and like see where this goes. And they didn't want to, I think I would start feeling like, why don't you want to? Like, unless you gave me like a solid reason, be like, why don't you want to? Like, is there something you're not telling me? Like, are you still, you know what I mean? Like, why? Like, I would just want to know why, and then we can go from there. But if you don't tell me, I'm gonna start getting in my own head and thinking about different scenarios. So I think that's what would happen to me on that one. Uh, so the second scenario that we have is your partner isn't ready to discuss long-term plans, but you feel that need a plan for the future. What would you do? And this happens a lot with um like if you ask them if they're looking for something serious, not necessarily you be like, are you looking for like is this should be a conversation like when you guys are in the talking stage and getting to know each other stage, like what are they looking for? Are they looking for be something serious with somebody? Are they looking for a serious partner? Like kind of figure out and then even bring it up over time because like someone who's actually serious is going to be like, yeah, like I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, you know, and even make you an official girlfriend. Don't be, you know, get stuck in a situationship. And so definitely like if they don't want to, like again, I always tell you guys, all the ladies, is probably because they don't see you in their future, because most guys want to be in a relationship, and if the right one comes along, who's the right one? I don't know. They're probably gonna be in a relationship, That's why like some guys before they get into a relationship, it's not like they're running because they like you, is because sometimes they're like, can I get better? Like, is there better out there for me? Um, and so they'll try to keep you a situationship or a placeholder as long as they can, until maybe they do find somebody else and they just leave you. Poof, they're gone. um, so again, definitely bring it up. Like if they're not ready to talk about that, they're probably not looking to be serious with you. That's how I would feel. All right, so financial issues. Your partner has been making large purchases without consulting you. What would you do? Now, what is a large purchase? It's like what is considered a large purchase? Asking for a friend. Um, but I definitely think like larger purchases should be discussed between partners because like what are your guys' goals together? Like is it your goals like to build something, like meaning like trying to invest into something, build a company? Like what are you guys trying to do? Or are you just trying to live a regular life? Like, I mean, no life is regular. I mean, just like the same thing that a lot of people do is like the work a 9 to 5, get a home, get married, have kids, and then just continue doing the same thing every day. uh, like if that's your thing, then yes, of course. Like, hey, like I want to get a car, I want to do this, and if they're not telling you about that, then that should be, kind of a red flag. Um, because if I'm with somebody and then all of a sudden no, I don't think so, to be honest. Like if I'm talking with somebody and she pulls up with a new car because she went to go buy a new car, I'd be like, yo, that shit's dope. Cool. Like, are you sure you needed a car though? Like, you sure you didn't want to invest that money into somewhere else? Um, because at the end of the day, like I want somebody too who also makes smart financial decisions, like not just impulse buying something, going car to car. Uh, so So maybe I would want somebody just to run it by me. It doesn't Your purchase doesn't have to be based off of me, like meaning like he has to approve of it. More just like we're gonna go over what your goals are. Like, is there something you want to do? Like, what are you trying to do? Because maybe getting the car is gonna stop you from doing that. Like, let's think about doing this, what you really want to do, and you getting, you know what I mean? Like, so making large purchases like that. So I would definitely want to be consulted, and I would definitely not like again not to approve the purchase through me, just so like we can see like does that align with the goals that you have for yourself, right? So what would you guys do in that one? All right. The second scenario on that one is that you discover your partner has significant debt and you haven't told you about. What would you do? I mean, that's something definitely to they're not gonna bring it up. I don't think most guys would bring it up. You know what I mean? Like I'm not in large debt. Like I have my small debts here and there. Nothing crazy. You know what I mean? Like but some people have crazy amount of debt. Like the amount of money they put on credit cards, like uh it's insane. Like the stupid shit people buy on credit cards. Trust me, I was there before buying stupid shit on credit cards. Uh I think most people do it and then they learn in the future. Now I just use my credit cards to build points and get cash back. So I use them as daily drivers, but then I pay them like my Apple one. I pay it off literally the next day. Use it, get the cash back, pay it off the next day, and just use that over and over and over. And the amount of cash back I've gotten off it, amazing. So like if you're using it like that, I get it. But some people just keep like, oh, I'm gonna buy this. I'm gonna put a vacation on this. I'll eventually pay it off. They put like a $4,000 vacation on a credit card, and then they're making like $100 payments on it. Like you should have been like, oh, like pay with this. That way you can get the points and rewards. Pay half of it off, and then the other half like at this time, or something like that. But somebody, I would want to know if a girl's in huge debt, just because I feel like people who are in huge debts, most people are not financially. responsible. Again, I'm saying that just like from the outside looking in, it could be different things like, oh shit, like they lost their job, so they were putting everything on cars for a while, or something like that. You know what I mean? Like you don't know that type of stuff at first. Uh, but like if I did find out that a girl was see, like this is why I like this podcast because like it's making me think like what would I do? Like if I found out a girl was in massive amount of debt, I would want to figure out like what happened. Like, why? Were you just buying a bunch of shit? You know what I mean? Like, if I see you with like a bunch of like Louis bags and stuff like, because I hate it when girls do that. Even guys do it. They go and purchase a shit ton of stuff on a credit card. Like, if you can't pay for it, like if you're buying it, getting the cash back and points and stuff, and then paying it off, I get it. But if you're just buying it and just like paying it off, unless it's making you money back, I don't want to get into that. That's a whole different like. But being in debt, I think that would be an issue for me just because, like, I mean, I would want to have the conversation, be like, why did you get into this situation? Like, why are you so much in debt? Like the amount that I've seen some people that they have to pay off, I'm just like, Jesus Christ, like, why? um, but I get it again, like inflation, like again, like there's a lot of little nuances, little things that happen and that's why like because I remember like I know this one lady his her sister was denied to get like EBT, and so because I guess she made too much or something like that and she owned a home, and so they didn't want to give it to her even though she was like barely making it by, and so like it just sucked because so she was putting things on cards and stuff like that. And so I get, you know what I mean? Like that's why you have the conversation to see what happened and see if they're on the plan, like if they're doing the steps to pay it off, not just like making the monthly payments. Like, all right, this is what I transferred this here. That way I don't pay interest and pay as much as I can. Like if they're doing stuff like that, I get it. Makes sense. But if they're not doing things like that, then and they're just making the minimum payment as they go, might be a problem for me. So, I mean, again, what would you guys? It's really hard. What would you guys do in that scenario? All right. So we have family and friends. Your partner's family is overly critical of you. What would you do? Hmm. What would I do if a girl's parents were overly critical about me? Um, I think I would maybe just have the conversation on why they think certain things and be like, why do you think like this? Is it because I got tattoos? Is it because of this? Like, is it because of that? Like, why? Like, hard worker, doing well. Like, what is the issue? Like, you don't like that I post. You don't like that I'll, like you don't like that I do the social media. Like, what is like what's going on here? Um, just because like even like if I bring a girl, I don't think I would want to bring a girl that my parents would be like, oh, this and this and this and this, just because like I wouldn't want her to be awkward, or feel awkward every time she came around or something like that. And vice versa. Like I wouldn't want to go to like a girl's family party and then just me be kind of like awkward there. Like, this is weird. Like these people are always judging me, like everything I do, like, and things like that. So I think I would have the conversation with the partner too, and like try to figure out like why they're like that. Like, why are you guys saying this stuff? Like, I'm very confrontational. Like, get it from my mom. She's very confrontational. Uh, and then try to figure it out. And if we can't figure it out, I don't know if I would want to. I don't like going places and feeling awkward. I like going places and feeling like, you know, having a good time, you know, going to the gym and lifting and I have to worry like, oh shit, my ex is here. Or, hey, like, like that girl that I ghosted is here because she comes at the same time. You go to work and you feel awkward because you dated this person and you guys broke up and or they cheated on, you know what I mean? Like, I don't like to feel awkward in my spaces. I like my spaces. And so I do not want to feel awkward or some off in some way. So I would bring that up and see where it goes from there. The second scenario that we have is your partner doesn't get along with your best friend because tension. What would you do? Hmm. Again, this goes like I would want to hang out with friends. me, it would be just trying to figure out like what's going on, like what's the issue, like where is the issue, like why are you guys off all the time, like and things like that, like why are you guys off, like uh but if it's because you like treat her like shit and stuff like that, and like the friend doesn't like you, because I get that, totally get that, I totally agree with that. Like yeah, and like if someone treats someone like shit, I'm just like, you get tension from me. Like if especially like my little sister's ex, like I did not like him. The only reason I talked to him was because my sister was dating him. Only reason. You know what I mean? Uh, but I never liked him. Never. Till this day, I still don't like him. My brother-in-law now, amazing. Love him to death. Cool guy. Funny as hell. Love him for my sister. But you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I was just dealing with it just because of that. And I'm sure he probably felt some type of way. Like, why did your brother like never really, I just didn't like him. So I would want the person I'm with to get along with whoever I'm with. You know what I mean? Like the friends, family, and stuff like that. And if there's issues, like let's figure out what the issues are. Like if I didn't do anything to like, because I get it. Like if maybe she cheated on me and like she's around and people are like feeling again. So again, I wouldn't be with somebody who cheated on me. By the way, so again, how would you react to this one? All right. So differences in values and beliefs. Your partner have different religion beliefs and it's causing conflicts. What would you do? At that point, I don't think you should be together. Because if you're not able to especially if your religion is like kind of butt heads, you're gonna be butt heads. um, you're gonna constantly be arguing about something like let's do this. Oh, I don't believe in that. Like, why do you do this? Um, like that's something I always say to like date someone who's pretty opposite of you, but opposite in that way. Also in like political views. That's why I never do political religious stuff in my content, just because I don't want none of that like in there because it separates people. It like um you say one wrong thing that somebody else didn't like and they stop, they're like fuck this guy or f him, or her. So that's why like there's if it's causing huge issues and like arguments, fights in the relationship, it's not gonna get better. The religion's not gonna change. So unless you guys can't find some sort of compromise, at that time it'd be time to go separate ways. To be honest. Scenario two there that we have is your partner have opposing political views and lead to heated arguments. What would you do? See, like again, this is if you guys can't make some sort of compromise with political views, religious views, that relationship might not work out just because you're always gonna get arguments and stuff, and like and you can't even bring it up because you guys start arguing about something, and arguments to the point where you don't want to talk to each other for a while. Over like some views of some other people, right? Like uh or what's happening in the world. Because there's no right answer in anything. You know what I mean? Like even relationships, there's no right answer. Like, oh, what do I do if this happens? Well, and like it's hard to say. Like everybody reacts differently. Everybody's different. Everybody's gonna respond differently. So same with that. That's like political views. Like if you guys can't find some sort of like compromise, maybe you guys don't talk about it. Like you do, like you believe what you want to believe. I believe what I want to believe. You vote whoever you want to vote for, and I'll vote for whoever I want to vote for. We just don't bring that home. That can be a compromise, but most of the time it's not. Okay, uh, and if you guys, it's just gonna lead to more relationship problems. To be honest. Number or the next one that we have is personal space and independence. Your partner wants to spend all their free time together, but you need someone alone time. What do you do? I think every person needs a little bit of alone time. Like sometimes I just like to vibe out by myself. I mean, I vibe out by myself a lot. But you know what I mean? Like sometimes I remember while I was with my ex, like my alone time was maybe going to the gym or like hanging out with my buddies playing like online games, even though it was a little excessive at times. Um, but it goes with like there's some super clingy guys too. Like, hey, like let's hang out. I want to see you. Let's do this. Let's do that. And like the girl sometimes just wants to like chill and relax. Maybe hang out with her friends or just like sit alone and watch TV and listen to music. Like there's something therapeutic about that too. So and some people don't like to give them the personal space, and it ends up, you know, uh distancing the other person to the point where there's just like, I really don't want to do this because I feel like you're all over me all the time. So I totally get that. That's why I always say, like, I always look for a girl who also hustles. Again, not because I need anything from them, just because if they're busy, I'm busy. They understand, and then whenever we do make time to hang out with each other, we can actually hang out with each other and spend some quality time. Instead of like always all, because when you're with somebody all the time, like it gets comfortable, it gets repetitive. That's why like people lose spiciness, interest in the relationships, because like that's why, like, when people talk all day, like, how the fuck are you, like, nothing new happened from this morning to, like, you know what I mean? Like, only a few things happen, like, nothing to have a conversation all day about it, right? So I like my personal space too. Like, I like to do my things. Like, so I would. That's why I always say I would want somebody who hustles all the time. That way, they understand me, because I was with somebody who was like super clingy like that, and I was just like, "Yo, you need to chill." Like, let me hang out by myself for a little while, you know? And she's like, what do you mean you want to hang out by yourself? Like, it's really hard to explain, but you're just like, I just want to chill, like, not hear your noise, like, whether it be from your phone, your computer, like, just me just chilling, right? So, I mean, everybody's different. Number 4 is your partner gets upset when you make plans without them. What would you do? No, like, there's time. If the person I'm with is making time to hang out with their friends, like planning this, cool. Like, it's a girls trip, cool. Like, we'll do our thing. I like it. I never have an issue with that. Um, but wanting to be included in everything like that you do, like, and they get upset when you don't, I'd be like, I'm just trying to hang out with my friends, like, and then I'm sure some guys have done it when you invite your girl, because I've done it, and then they're like, "There's no other girls here." I was like, "I know, but like you were gonna get upset because uh, you're gonna say I didn't invite you and things like that." And then they're upset because there's no other girls, and now she feels like she shouldn't have came. And like, that's why sometimes, like, talking about this, I'm like, I'm glad I'm single. Okay? But I like it when a girl hangs out with her friends, like, because now you can go do your thing, I can do my thing. Like, that's something I liked a lot about one of my exes. Is like, I would go and hang out with my friends. She would go hang out with her friends, and then we also did things together too, right? Because I know she needs her friend time. I need my guy time, or just sometimes I wouldn't even go hang out with guys. I would just like chill and like just relax by myself, watch a movie, play some video games or something like that. She would go out with her friends, and I trusted her 100% because I knew at the end of the day, like, um, like, even other people would be like, "Oh yeah, some guy came up to her and like, she kind of like did talk to him for a little bit because she was a nice person, but she was never like, let's go dance, let's go hook up." No, it was never like that. It was always like, hey, like, let's go dance. She'd be like, "Sorry, I got a boyfriend," and things like that. Right? She would never step out of the relationship that I know of, and I'm pretty sure I don't think she did. So, uh, but you know what I mean. That's why, like, I wouldn't want to be with somebody who gets upset about wanting to be with me at all times. All right. So the next one that we have here is intimacy and affection. Scenario 1 is your partner's level of affection has decreased significantly and you're feeling neglected. What would you do? And see, this is what I talk about. Like, over a period of time, like, relationships, you get comfortable, they get bland, they get vanilla. There's no more like spiciness, there's no more fun things. And that's why I said, like, I would want a girl, because I've been there. I would want a girl who likes to constantly experience new things. Like, hey, like, even her bring, hey, like, we should go see this, or we should go, let's go do this. I'd be like, oh, hell yeah, let's go do it. Like, or if I bring something up, I'd be like, hey, like, we should go try this or do this. And they'll be like, yeah, like, let's go try it, or something like that. Like, always wanting to try new things. There's people who don't do that. And it's a lot of people. They think going to dinner to the same place is not doing something different, is not experiencing life. Going to the movies is not experiencing life. Like, that way you can kind of get what you're uh like, where I'm coming from. So to me, that's not experiencing life. Like, how I want to experience life with somebody. uh but that's why, like, being comfortable and vanilla leads to less affectionate. And if you start noticing like these decrease of affection and things like that, you need to bring it up to your partner and be like, yo, like, why are you acting like this? Because the earlier you can bring it up, the more likely they're going to fix it instead of waiting a few months and then like really complaining about it. No, like be that nagging person shit, that way they fix it and they know they can't be slipping or fucking up. People are like, oh, it's fine. He just, he usually does it, but it's fine. It'll get better. Trust me, most of the time shit doesn't get better. So at the time, I remember, now I wouldn't try to make it work. At the time, like we just separated, like we're grown apart, not separated. We had grown apart, and we were trying to see if we could try to bring it back together, and wasn't happening. So if you notice, I would just recommend, if you notice, if I would have noticed, because I do now, like if I'm talking to somebody and I notice a change, I bring it up, and I would want the girl to bring it up too, because I'd be like, yo, like how come you like this? Because I'd rather know and figure out what's going on right away, and if they really are into me or if I'm really into them, you're gonna try to fix it right away. So the sixth scenario or the next scenario that we have is you have a higher S drive than your partner, leading to frustration. What would you do? Leave their ass. No, just joking. I would tell them straight up, yo, like, we need to be doing, like, let's try new things. Let's do different things. Let's include new things. Uh, be spontaneous, be adventurous, because the more comfortable you get, the more, like, less likely you're going to want to do it. And then that's why it leads to some people stepping out of the relationship, just because now they're able to, like, they feel that affection from somebody else, and it feels good, and they want that intimacy, they want that touch, they want that, that those feelings, because only especially for girls, a toy will only go so far. That's why, like, a guy's touch is a little different, and same with, like, well, I would assume guys, because your hand can only do so much, and then it's just like being with a girl is a little different, right? So have that conversation. If shit doesn't change, I would just be straight up, be like, yo, like, we're young, like, I'm trying to do this, and you're no longer there at that same level. I don't think this is going to work out, because it's gonna cause problems in a relationship. You're going to become frustrated, you're going to be upset, and especially if you watch a movie, you're going to be like, I wish that would happen to me. And then if you say it in front of your man, they're going to get all upset, and it's just a bunch of drama. So it's something you do need to bring up, try to fix right away, because, like, are you going to just sacrifice from doing it, and then when you get older, you're going to be like, fuck, I should have just done it more, I should have just left? Or, like, you would just wait, and then finally when you do leave, you're like, I spent all this time where I could have just been doing something with somebody else because I thought this person was going to change. So definitely bring it up, communicate, try to fix, and if it doesn't fix, like, fast, you might want to think about going leaving this person. To be honest, like, I'm just telling you, like, people crave that. Guys crave it, girls crave it, and there's somebody out there who's going to give it to you. And instead of stepping out of a relationship, why not leave the relationship, and then you can do it? So conflict resolution, you and your partner fight and they give you the silent treatment. What would you do? I hate the fucking silent treatment, but I get it because I've done it too. But my biggest thing is, like, if we can't fix it that night or whenever it happens, like, say we argue right now today, like right now is like what, 1:22. Say we get in an argument, and then before we go to bed, we have to fix it. And I would not, and it's worked a lot for relationships, right? Like, fixing it before you guys go to bed, because if you just go to bed, it's just worse in the morning. So uh, being able to fix the situation before you go to bed is key, and to me that's huge. And if I start talking with somebody and they don't do that, or they refuse to do that, like, give me like, don't even pick up the phone, I'd be like, all right, this shit ain't gonna work out. This person, like, instead of trying to communicate and try to fix our problems, they're just give you the silent treatment, which makes it worse and it pisses you off. So that's what I would do. So the second scenario is your partner tends to walk away during arguments without resolving the issue. What would you do? Oh, I hate that. I remember like when I basically broke up with her there, right then and there, just because she's like, I don't have time for this. And I was like, oh, excuse me, miss, you don't have time for your boyfriend? Okay, we're done. And she's like, no, it wasn't, like, I just don't want to talk. And I was like, nope, we're done. I was like, we're sitting here trying to talk about it, and you just walked away and left. Like, instead of trying to fix this, yeah, we were arguing with each other, but no, no, I think that's very disrespectful. Uh, Walking away from some, maybe walking to the next room, cool off a little bit, come back and try to fix it. I would understand that, but just like walking away and leaving, and then just you have to end up calling them and be like, "Where'd you go? What happened?" You know, um, I think that would be a huge red flag to me, and I would not want to be with somebody like that. Just being truthful. So the next one that we have is trust and fidelity. You suspect your partner is cheating, but you have no concrete proof. What do you do? I mean, are they cheating because like you feel like that because they are giving you the signs, that they're cheating? Um, I mean, shit. Some people to get peace of mind, they hire a private investigator, and then they end up finding out their partner's cheating because they're not going to tell you that they're cheating. Pay attention to their. If I felt like a girl was cheating on me, I would definitely do my research. I'm just being honest because I don't want to be wasting my time with this person. I don't want to be investing more time and effort into this person if they're just out hooking up with some other dude. And, I'd rather get out. So, yes, I would definitely try to find concrete proof. Not myself, because, again, it's very hard to find it yourself. I would definitely pay a private investigator to follow her around and bring back some information and see what happens, and then get some peace of mind. Especially if they're gone at weird times, or they gone a lot longer than usual, or they're out doing something while at work. You can't really leave work and follow your person because you got to be at work. So if you hire somebody, they can go and do that for you. Because why? Because that's what they get paid for. So I would definitely do it. I'm just being honest. Uh, because again, like, you had to give me some reasons to get there, and then I just need if this person ended up not finding anything, I'd be like, it's just in my fucking head. Like, Eddie, like, fix your shit. Like, what the fuck? Or they come back with shit and they're like, here, yep, she's cheating, just like you thought. Because sometimes you gotta trust your gut feeling. The next one that we have is your partner admits to one-time infidelity but wants to work things out. What would you do? No, not happening. My trust is out the window. I don't want to live feeling that is she cheating again? Is she thinking about, like, are they still meeting up? Are they still talking before I didn't even know? And, like, so who knows if she's still hiding it? And, like, I don't even like the whole, like, let's make joint accounts. That way, like, you can see that I'm trying to be. No, I don't want to be living like that. Like, and especially with that shit in the back of your head, like, this other dude had her paws all over her, and just no, not happening. I'd rather go through the heartbreak phase than deal with any shit like that. Hell no, I ain't not dealing with that. That gut feeling, that pit feeling. You're just like, you don't know what the fuck is happening. You don't know if are they even into you anymore. Like, shout out to the people who can keep giving people chances over and over. Not me. No, I'd be done. Like, I'd rather go through the heartbreak and go find somebody who's not gonna be like that and not making me feel like that. Because now after that, cheating, it changes a lot of people, and it changes how you feel towards them. Like, some people, oh no, we're gonna fix it. It's gonna make it better. Like, you can risk your time and effort and see if it make it better. Am I going to? Probably not. So those are some of the things. I actually really enjoyed doing this one just because I got to see, like, some of the things, like, because, again, everybody reacts differently to different things. Again, I can say this is what would happen if it were to really happen and things come up. You never know. Like, you might do something different. That's how you're actually going to react because it actually happened. And how are you going to react to it? Right? That's why I always tell people, like, especially, like, if girls who protect themselves with guns, I'm like, do you shoot it? Do you, like, clean it? Do you take it apart? Do you know how it feels when it shoots? Just because, yeah, you have something to protect yourself, but what happens if you actually need to use it? Like, are you going to be able to use it, right? So, just, like, that's an example in some of these things. Is like, you don't know how you're going to react until it actually happens. So, but anyways, I want to thank you guys for always tuning in every week. Thank you guys for listening to this podcast. Give us a thumbs up, 5-star review. If you guys want to support any other way, everything is in the description down below. And I'll see you guys later.